My name is Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek TV at Gen Con 2013. I'm sitting down with Anton Torres.
Hello.
Fantasy Flight Games. I'm glad this is the second, third time you've come by this convention. I don't even remember anymore.
I haven't left the chair. I've been here
Pretty
all
much.
show.
Well, you're going to put your name on it.
Excellent.
But you brought us over the really thick and satisfying prototype here of BattleLore, the second edition.
Yes.
Which I just had to show you has been pieced together beautifully with all the extra pieces stuck on the inside of the box.
That is a behind-the-scenes look.
It is behind-the-scenes look. You know, we're really showing you the ins and outs
truth.
here. But with a board that just barely fits on our little circular table here.
Yes.
All right.
Well,
BattleLore, second edition.
The day before the exhibit hall opened, it was a Wednesday, I think.
Yes.
It seems like so long ago.
Know.
We announced on our website and to the world that we were debuting BattleLore second edition. And BattleLore is a game that has a history, and it is a game that we acquired a number of years ago that had been in release that we loved very much. And over the years, it had run its course. It was something that in its original incarnation we were unable to produce. And so we've been struggling with how to reintroduce BattleLore, which is a game that we really dig. Richard Borg is fantastic to work with. We thought, what could we do to return this to print? So what I'm trying to do, or what I will do here, is show you what it is. What is BattleLore second edition? We're demoing it at the booth. If you're here, you should check it out. I've got a troublesome rock in my hand.
You do.
So
ROC, not ROCK.
ROC. So what we have done is taken BattleLore and streamlined it a bit. We've retained the left, center, right section elements of the original game and the command cards from the original game. So anyone who's familiar with the command and color system is going to be right at home with what is BattleLore second edition. There are plenty of terrain tiles that are in the box here.
Yeah, we didn't quite bother to punch out yet.
Didn't punch out anything.
Here, we'll throw one out there.
It is a game that has each player taking one faction, one particular faction in this setting. The setting is now Terranoth. It is the Runebound universe.
Well, let's put one in the middle here so
all right.
we can really see.
So this is the same setting as Descent and Rune Wars and Rune Age and Runebound. This is a setting that over the years, as we've developed more content, has taken on an identity, and we wanted to provide an experience that had armies battling across a field of battle, but where the units had a real identity. They had a unique sense of play. So we removed the colors. In the original game, the colors, all the colors we're introducing were a sense of differentiation of abilities of units, whether it was speed or the attack ability or defense ability, how resilient they were. So we removed colors and now have placed the information on a unit card.
All right, I will put that right smack in the middle.
Okay.
So that is the unit card, I'm guessing, for this guy. Yes?
The Viper Legions, it's actually these red.
Ah, okay.
So we have the
There we go.
Yathukulon, the Chaos Barbarian Horde versus the Dakan Lords, which are the last bastion of hope for the humans in this setting. And this card allows us to differentiate each unit. So the movement and the attack value and the health for these units, right? This health is the number of figures that comprise the unit. So this unit would have 3. As you take damage, you remove a figure, and when the unit is gone, it is gone. So what is exciting about BattleLore second edition? In this game, one of the most exciting things is how scenarios are introduced, right? We want a lot of variety. Anyone who's played miniatures games knows that part of the appeal is building your unique force and then pitting yourself against your opponent and trying to best them on the field of battle. So in this game, before the game begins, you'll actually have a chance to build your unit. You actually spend points, determine what units are going to be in play. You do that in secret. And then you will deploy. This is new. This is new. So you will deploy then on the field of battle. So for example, this Chaos Lord will cost you 8 gold, and that Chaos Lord is this one figure there, the massive
Okay, we'll
beast.
leave that for a moment because that's just pretty cool. There he is.
The Viper Legion that we showed a moment ago, though, is a 4 gold unit. So you're gonna build a unit out of everything that's in the box. There are 92 figures in the box, and then you and your opponent are going to determine what scenario or what are the conditions of the battlefield. So in classic BattleLore, there were particular scenarios. You would reference a map, you'd reference a map layout, the lay of the land, you'd set up your terrain, you'd actually deploy your units to match, and then you'd begin the game. And then you'd wait for new scenarios. Instead, we've developed a system where each faction has a unique set of scenario cards. So these cards, these are 7 cards for the Othukulan and 7 cards for the Takan Lords. You as a player, as the general of these forces, are going to select one of the cards from the set. Not only does this, so what this does is establish your half of the battlefield. So it gives you a real sense of, as a general, how it is that you've approached this particular portion of the landscape without having foreknowledge of what is beyond that landscape.
And would you decide on this scenario before or after you've purchased your troops and things?
You would do that before.
Okay, so you can then plan appropriately what you would need to best match your objectives.
Yes, I'm jumping around the order.
That's all right.
So each player in secret is going to select a scenario card. Here's one for the Othukulan. It establishes the terrain that is local to that area. It establishes also deployment zones. So here, the red hexes that you see are where you may deploy your forces. Right? The matching card for the other side would have, in this case, blue hexes. You would then purchase your forces as you wish, and then you will take all of these reference cards, like what we showed you earlier, and you would deploy your forces and actually fill up all of the deployment zones on the battlefield. What is exciting about that is in this deck of unit cards are also blank decoys. So as your opponent, you and your opponent begin to fill your deployment zones with these face-down cards, you will have a sense of what it is that you may be facing and where they may be located, but you actually have no literal idea of what it is you're facing or where they are deployed. So there is Fog of War. There is this unique scenario building system that essentially in the box gives you 49 different scenarios, 7 cards per faction. And then there is the Fog of War, which is, well, what units have they committed to? How are they, what kind of strategies are they committed to? Where are they deployed? Then everyone will reveal simultaneously, the decoys are removed, and then the figures are put in place.
Off you go.
So that alone, for me, has been very, very exciting. Something else that is exciting related to scenarios are that there are now these banners that are placed on the board, and these banners are tokens that simply represent objective points that are scattered across the board.
Yeah, so we'll just say maybe there's one on that.
Okay, so
rock.
let's say there's one there, and that would be a point in the landscape that you were trying to gain control of over the course of the game. As you control that hex in each round, then you will gain victory points, and the first player to reach 16 victory points will win. So it's not just about lining up a bunch of forces and rushing across and destroying everyone on the other side, right? You actually have to consider, what are your goals? How are you going to achieve those goals? Do you have cavalry units that may move faster? Do you have ranged units? How are you going to use terrain?
Defending your own spots.
And then defending your own objective points. The gameplay it plays very fast. It's very exciting. It's not bogged down by the mechanics that are there and add complexity for an arbitrary reason. It's like everything has been kind of distilled down to its core. So lots of variety, lots of interesting setup and variety between plays. Lots of besting your opponent in real time and dealing with whatever it is you might be faced with, and you never quite know.
How long do you think a typical game would take you?
Let's say 30 to 60 minutes.
Which, yeah.
For a scenario. And it all depends on your plan. We've had people playing at the office where they actually play very heavily to the objective points on the board, and that is very successful, right? It all depends on how you and your opponent sort of dissect the opportunities on the play space. Like the original system, there are dice. So we have dice here. Lore is part of the game, and lore is a currency that essentially you can gather over time and use to execute spells or special maneuvers. There's an entire lore deck of that is separate. There are separate lore decks per faction, so that is new, right? So again, variety.
Yeah, so we have one here. So play after the enemy unit is eliminated. You're going to gain a victory point for doing so.
Right. Well, on your half of the board.
On your half of the board, yes.
Here's a Uthukilan card, and this would cost 3 lore, and this would be a blood sacrifice you would play after the command step. You remove a figure from a friendly unit, so you sacrifice one of your own units, but then remove another friendly unit, then another friendly unit recovers 1 health. So there are spells, there are special actions, there are all sorts of combos that you can play, but again, the variety, so that each faction plays differently, each faction is going to offer different challenges, and then with the variety of setup and the variety of executing your plan, it makes for a very exciting game.
I can tell you're very excited about it.
I am very excited. I'm exhausted.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Babbling like a madman. So, I'm not
well,
sure.
and let's actually here, grab the rock. I know it didn't quite make the trip over here from your booth.
I crushed the rock on the way over. This is the large single unit from the Deccan Lords.
Yeah, because he's cool.
It's fantastic. If you've ever played Rune Wars, you'd recognize a number of these units, the Obscenes, the Chaos Lord, and the Rock.
Yeah, he broke off his base.
He
so.
did. But it is something that if you are familiar with BattleLore, it will be familiar to you. If you demand colors in their game, this game will not offer it. But if you want a really exciting, fast-playing, tactical, unit-based hex strategy board game, this game delivers a ton, and is accessible in a way that the original BattleLore was not.
Is this released now? Or?
This has not been released now.
Yeah,
this is currently in beta. We are demoing it at the booth. We're demoing it for the rest of the show, which is a day and a half or just over a day. But then we're looking at Christmas 2013.
Okay, so very late Q4.
Late Q4.
All right.
That is our goal.
Anton, thank you so much for stopping by. Here we'll give one more shout out to the box here, which is BattleLore, the 2nd edition by Fantasy Flights.
Thank you.